And welcome back, everyone, to part 15 of What If Minato Survived. This may be our last part. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll see where the story ends, but we left off with the deaths of Hidan and Kakuzu. And with those deaths, we are now in a very odd spot right now. Where the Itachi subplot of, Sasuke going to get him Sasuke, them trying to get Sasuke, that's not happening because Sasuke's in the village. So the question ultimately becomes, where are we going from here? Because right now, in terms of the Akatsuki, Sasori and Deidara are dead. Kakuzu and Hidan are dead. And Hidan's legit dead. So who do we have left in the Akatsuki right now? Well, we have Pain / Nagato. We have Konan. We have both of our Zetsus. And we have, and we have Kasame left. Great. Wonderful. So what happens? What's going on with this? Well, I do think that Kisame is tasked to go and get the Eight Tails. Granted, the Eight Tails is still in Cloud Village. Killer Bee is still in there. So while he's tasked to do so, I think he's got to basically, kind of sneak into the village using water juice or whatever to do so and try to take him down as quick as possible before the Raikage comes in and, just... Now, luckily, because of the nature of the White Zetsu, they can always replenish their ranks to a certain degree. They aren't true Akatsuki in the sense of, hey, we have individual members, but they can always have extra members in there. I do think they would also be approached at some point by Kabuto. Now, would they be approached by Kabuto before the invasion of Konoha or after the invasion of Konoha? Ooh, that's a little... I have a feeling Kabuto, being Kabuto, would do it after the fact just to gauge where they're at. And he would approach probably Zetsu, not Nagato. Or Pain, or to Obito, because Obito's gone. But the important thing that is still going on here is the fact that we do still get Jiraiya telling Minato and, the others that, yeah, I've got a lead on the Akatsuki. I'm going to go to the Hidden Rain. Now, luckily, the difference we have here is that Minato, it says, look, if you get in trouble, Sensei, you know how to reach me. Just and I can see Jiraiya just pulling out the gun, saying, I know how to get you there if I need you. But come on, you have no faith in your Sensei? Come on. And at this point in their relationship, Tsunade and Jiraiya still have their conversation. At this point in their relationship in life, I still don't... they're not together. Tsunade and Jiraiya are not together. The question really is, that has been debated for a while, and I've heard a lot of people kind of go both ways on the answer. Was Tsunade going to actually give him a shot, legitimate chance at a relationship? Or was she going to tell him, I want to be with you, or at least try to be with you, all that? Because there's that line at the end where she says, I'm not going to make it as easy for you when you get back. See, that can be interpreted so many ways. It's I'm not gonna make it as easy for you. I'm gonna, you're gonna have to be a good boyfriend when you get back or something like that. You could interpret that way, or just, her as a friend, just saying, I'm not gonna make it as easy on you. Kind of like Sakura would say, I'm gonna make it as easy on you next time, Naruto. But no, Sakura says that as a friend. She doesn't say that as someone who sees it as a romantic interest. Which makes the whole fake confession even worse. What if Naruto really bought into that? Now she'd be in a loveless relationship with Naruto. Well, okay, she cares about him, probably loves him as a friend, but not as a romantic interest. So she'd be stuck in a relationship with him for a while, and that wouldn't be fair to either of them. So, God, it just makes that even worse for the character. I will say this. I think it's something similar to the original, where they're not together, but I think this time around she, maybe she actually gives them a kiss for good luck. Maybe she actually does that, and that puts Jiraiya in oh man, wow, I had to wait 50 years to get that, huh? And he just laughs worth it. And he just says, the smooth operator Jiraiya can be, says worth it, and just he heads off. And so Jiraiya goes and confronts Pain and Konan. And yeah, that whole scenario goes the same up until he gets an arm taken off in the fight. And remind you, this Jiraiya has Sage, like a perfected Sage mode as well, because he's trained Naruto. He and Minato is trained perfectly, and at this point, it made sense that Jiraiya would not want to be left in the dust. So he does have a perfected Sage mode, but he still summons Ma and Pa to help with that perfected Sage mode, like to help continually gather chakra and to use their special genjutsu as well. But unfortunately, he still loses the arm, which sucks. So just as pain is like, you'll know pain, Sensei, beyond anything you control. And this, so you really think you can stop me with that? And he just throws the kunai right at the way Jiraiya, I think Minato knows when the kunai is used is probably a little chakra from the user's part. So Jiraiya throws a little chakra into the kunai. So it throws chakra into the kunai. It throws it at Pain. Pain just just dings the kunai in midair. Like I don't even think he'd use Shinra Tensei. I think he just throws like a chakra rod at it, just clank. But the minute he does that, all of a sudden there is Minato just in his own Sage mode, and he's got his own blades right there with chakra or Sengun and a blade, and Minato Nagato Pain just because he quickly realized like the second it went in there and he saw the shape what the kunai was before Minato just appeared. But fortunately, we know he can react like that. Fortunately, Nagato we know can react like that. So now, boom, Minato gets pushed back, but is able to get to Jiraiya. Sensei, are you okay? He's like, I'll be fine. It's nothing Tsunade can't fix, assuming we can find my arm. That is. But right now we got bigger problems. So I can see Minato, Lord Hokage of Leaf. This saves me the trouble of talking to you personally. I'd like to ask you to hand over your son to us. Damn it! It's like, so you do know we are the Akatsuki, of course. Of course we know. You will hand him over to us, and your village will be spared. To which Minato, actually kind of channeling his son a little bit, says, I have a better idea. How about I kill you and prevent that from happening to begin with? I see. So you do not wish to avoid pain. Perhaps that is the wise choice after all. And so all the paths are charging in at both Jiraiya and Minato. Minato's throwing out kunai, using his flying thunder god, taking out a couple of them instantly. Like he takes it. Jiraiya lets him know what the three paths that he was going up against could do. So Minato immediately takes out the Preta path to avoid the chakra absorption, or even more effectively, he lets the Preta path absorb his chakra, his Sage chakra. So he can turn it to stone. Then he quickly starts blitzing a couple of the paths for Minato's like Basho Tenin, and just cries like, and then he just disappears like that. That jutsu of yours is quite a nuisance, Lord Hokage. You don't even know the half of it. Minato disappears again, and Pain just realizes that Minato. He's got all these kunai scattered around here that he could literally get behind him in an instant. So he has to Shinra Tensei all the kunai away. Which Minato avoids it again, only to throw another kunai immediately after the fact. Appears is able to just barely touch Nagato, I keep saying Nagato, but Pain. Grab him and. Is about to, put the stab him in the head. Nagato, I keep saying Nagato. Pain brings out his chakra rod, blocks the rod, and then Shinra Tensei and then just blast Minato back again. This time Minato does hit the wall, boom, but luckily he's in Sage mode. Meanwhile, Jiraiya is taking care of, now that the Diva Path's gone, Jiraiya is taking care of pretty handily, actually, a lot of the other paths, because the Animal Path is definitely a nuisance, but not something he can't handle. Using the Great Ball, or Giant Sage mode, we're saying on, just carving away, even kicks out the Human Path. We're not going to be able to keep this up for much longer, Jiraiya boy. It's like, I know, but Minato's got a plan. And Minato just gets out of there, just, yeah, you cannot beat me. I am judgment. I am pain. And pain knows all. Pain is God's true judgment on humanity. You cannot stop. You will not stop my plan. I will take your son and take the tail beast from him. I shall carve a new piece through pain. And there's nothing you can do about that, Minato. So tell me, will you give me your son, or will you just fight an ending battle? And to which Minato just looks at it, like, he just spits out some blood. You want to know what I think? And just pulls out. All of a sudden, he just starts charging up a, Rasengan, and he starts putting his chakra in. So he's got a Rasen Shuriken in his hand, just almost sounded like a helicopter. It had like a screeching sound, but I can almost hear it sounding like a rotating blade, like a rotating fan blade. And she's just holding. It's like, you know what I think? You talk too much. And all of a sudden, he disappears again. You will not. And it's like Shinran, and all of a sudden, he's just suddenly getting just cleaved in half, and he's like, impossible. And then he just sees Minato put the seal tag, the formula jutsu, the space time formula jutsu, right where he grabbed his collar, like, damn it, and just basically shreds him into oblivion. And all the other paths, including Nagato, was way off in the distance, like, damn him. Yeah, it's like, to which Jiraiya was like, we got to keep one of these guys alive. We got to at least keep one of these bodies. It's like, right. And then Minato comes in, and they quickly take care of the remaining paths. It's like, so what do we do now as their Sage mode runs out? It's like, and he says that Nagato, he's not here. Nagato's not here. But I think if these are what I think they are, and he just takes out one of these chakra rods. It's like, Pa, give me a minute. And he just takes that and just puts it basically in the stump of his arm, because he doesn't he doesn't need to stab himself with it. Just, I got him. And basically, Minato and him basically go and they confront Nagato and Konan by extension. And they have a meeting. And this isn't like one of those scenarios where where Nagato's trying to control Naruto and control the Nine Tails. This is Sensei and the student meeting again, along with a fellow student. So you finally found me, Sensei. What do you think? What do you think of me? What do you think of my solution? Minato, stopping peace through war isn't creating, or creating peace through war isn't creating peace. It's creating a fiction, an illusion. This isn't the way, Nagato. You tried for decades, and Sensei, to find your solution, and yet you still could never do it. I am simply taking the shortcut out of the equation, and I'm just taking the shortcut in the equation. The true path to peace is through pain, as we all know. It's only by knowing pain do we know peace. After all, I didn't know peace until I met you, but I didn't until I met you and Konan and Yaiko. I was happy in those days, but I only knew that peace because I lost my family to the leaf of all. But I harbor no ill will towards the leaf. I harbor no ill will towards anyone. And that I say that, but I don't know if he really did. I have a feeling it's more that it was a collective dislike of what happened, in the world. So he felt the same about all the ninja villages, not simply because of the leaf, although the leaf did kill his parents apparently. And to which Jiraiya apologizes and says it's not a way. Before finally Minato steps in, it's like, do you really? It's like, really, what happens when that piece ends? That illusion ends. Then we'll just to which all peace ends. But it's not a matter. That's not. Then you betrayed everything your senseis instilled in you. You're not looking for peace. You're looking for some sort of answer beyond that, and you're not going to get it. I can't remember exactly how Naruto. Basically, he kind of gives the Naruto speech. He gives Naruto speech to Nagato because they are both students of Jiraiya. They are both, so it makes sense that Minato, especially having his son in his life and all that, I think he will be able to get through to Nagato and do what he needs to. And Nagato here, eventually you get that speech from Minato, the Naruto speech, but in Minato's style, and it does finally resonate with Minato, or Nagato. And Nagato just looks at Conan and is like, And so what happened? And so Conan just like, so what will we do now, Sensei? You can come back to the Leaf. I'm sure with you gone, I mean, the Akatsuki is pretty much all but done. That's not quite. Which I think this is what they realize is what they can do. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Even if I wanted to return to the Leaf, we have staked a claim in this village. We aren't just the Akatsuki. We look after it. This is our home. But there's something you should know, and they explain Black Zetsu and White Zetsu, and while they don't know everything about them, they do know that these guys are not safe. They are not to be trifled with. And their goal is something even more sinister. So they leave Jiraiya and Minato. They go back to the village, and they manage to get Jiraiya's arms. And Tsunade just sees Jiraiya and is like, I've had worse. It's like, you idiot, no you haven't. It's like, okay, no I haven't, but still, I mean, it's like, then she smacks him. Oh, what the hell? Come on, I'm missing an arm right now. Yeah, and you're going to lose that arm permanently if I don't get you in there. And so they get him into surgery so he can get his arm back. And so now the Kisame is going to attack the Eight Tails, and as we know, he actually would have straight out beat the Eight Tails. I think people kind of people know Kisame is strong, but he outright beat the Eight-Tailed Jinchuriki. He was going to outright beat Killer Bee. It wasn't until the Raikage showed up and they tag teamed him that he couldn't beat him. So, people sleep on Kisame. Unfortunately, because he's doing this in the village too, I don't see him being able to win because the Raikage or Darui is going to show up and they're going to be able to take them down. Now, fortunately, because they use the Zetsu clone, I think that's what they use here. Kisame does escape, heads back to the hideout. It is only now the White Zetsus and Black Zetsu. And by the way, someone asked if the whole Blood Mist Village thing is going to happen because Obito's not around. Because of how Zetsu can function, Black Zetsu particularly, I will say yes, it just happens in a different way. Or maybe he's just possessed. Oh God, what was it? Okay, hold on. Roshi, Yugato, Yagura. I was had to remember the name of the third, the Mizukage. Yagura. Maybe he's possessed Yagura in a way that it's a little sort of like Yaga's wardrobe has changed, but it turns out the hood he's wearing is Zetsu himself. So, there explains like it seems Pain and Conan have deserted. They desert. Why the hell would they desert? This would be offensive to Kasame because loyalty is very important to him. It seems they had a run-in with an old friend and master, but no matter. We'll be able to. I will go and confront him. Just make sure that. Besides, we have a new ally in the mix, don't we, Kabuto? And Kabuto shows up, looking less like a snake, but still snake-ish, and he explains what they're going to ultimately do. But first, I'm going to need something. I'm going to have to take those eyes back from him. And so Zetsu goes to confront Nagato and Zetsu. Or Nagato and Conan. I believe he would also take probably a couple White Zetsus with him. Nagato, and so they meet, and he's just standing up there, in his little throne room charger. I don't know what it is. He's sitting up there, and Conan meets down. What? Really? Just because you met with your old sensei? Nah, it's not just sensei, but his student as well. Oh yes, Minato. I'm aware of him, but that matters not, or that doesn't matter. What matters is that if you're not joining us, then you need to be eliminated. Besides that, you have something that belongs to us. And they're looking at Minato. I keep doing that. Minato and Nagato for some reason. Look at Nagato, and it's like Nagato's like, you want these eyes, don't you? So you were aware of what happened, weren't you? That these eyes were never truly mine. Yes, I figured it out some time ago, but I can't. But if you want them, you'll have to claim them. You may have the Rinnegan, but you don't. But you have nothing. You don't. You really can't do anything to us. And chakra rods come out, but because of the nature of Black Zetsu, it's like, oh, that tickles. Please, is that really the best you can do? And the white Zetsus come in, and it's like, but not quite. Conan. All of a sudden, Conan, who was prepared that waterfall of paper bombs, like, yeah, this is going to explode for 10 consecutive minutes. Now, granted, she did that preparing for Obito. Here, I think she probably still does it. Maybe it's more like 5, but maybe they just wanted to do as much as they could. And so, add on the fact that I keep saying Minato, damn it. Nagato can use his Shinra abilities to manipulate. The Zetsus are like, boss, and even Black says like, okay, maybe this isn't gonna work. He's like, you really think this will stop me? It's like, we'll find out, won't we? And then just, damn it! And they're trying to escape, only for it to not work out very well. And no joke, I think Black Zetsu, because we don't know if Black Zetsu is actually capable of dying. That's the real problem here with Black Zetsu, is that because of the nature of what Black Zetsu is, and the fact that it got resealed with Kaguya, because it got resealed with Kaguya, we don't know if Black Zetsu is actually capable of. We know White Zetsus can die. That is not up for debate whatsoever. White Zetsus can die, no problem. Black Zetsu, but one second here. So, powers. Here we go. No, I don't need Villain Wiki. I want Naruto Wiki here. Hold on. There we go. Because the Villain Wiki is not going to be anywhere near as specific. Okay, where is Black Zetsu's abilities? Okay, Black is abilities. Unlike normal Ikusarai being bisected and not aged for 1,000 years, being a product of Kage as well, Black Zetsu itself is able to manifest its will to gain influence over others, either by subtly manipulating or forcibly manipulating their bodies. He was able to render Madara, the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, completely powerless to resist his power and influence. Black Zetsu, over time, ads. I hate ads. By attaching himself to others, he controls targets' movements. Look, in all fairness, it does not say that Black Zetsu is immortal. Being the manifestation, here's the thing. That's, I think, the very key thing here. Black Zetsu is the manifestation, not the embodiment of Kaguya's will. If it was the embodiment of her will, because her will would just exist, it should not be able to die on its own. And Kaguya would have to die in order for it to die. And I think that's the case overall. But that said, being only just the manifestation, I think Kaguya, I think Black Zetsu, in theory, should be able to die given the right circumstance. And because of that, all the Zetsu get incinerated. Now, there's still some white Zetsu left, but Black Zetsu falls in among that crowd of individuals that get incinerated. So, the Zetsus are now gone except for white Zetsu. And the white Zetsus that are left pick up on it, is like, well, we got some bad news. Well, the big I was about to say the big black guy. Wow, that sounded wrong on so many levels. As like the main guy is going, well, seems you would be in charge now, would it? Yeah, we're really not the thinker type. We're more the doer type, and Yeah, and Kasami's like, well then, if seeing as you don't want to do it, and I don't believe you, Kasami, have any interest in taking over, then I guess that falls down onto me. And so Kabuto is just smiling. It's like, so then all of a sudden, coffins start appearing. Why don't we get started? And that, I think, is where we're gonna end it. I thought maybe we get it done in this one. We'll get it done in the next one. Part 16 will be the last part of this. Then, following up with that, we'll have the Naruto Zanpakuto What If. That poll is still up, by the way, if you want to vote in it. And just get your opinion on which Zanpakuto he's getting. You can do that. It's very leaning almost majority-wise onto one, but with it being up one more week, more votes could change that. It has gone down from where it was initially, like that, because more people voted on certain different ones than the main one. Then that does decrease the percentage quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, but by a certain amount. So if you want, it'll be up for one more week. Well, less than 1 more week, because next week's the week of What If. So Monday will be the last Naruto one, and so that means that Wednesday will be starting the next one. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you folks for the next one. Have a good one.